Check 1, 2, check. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Good, big. Check, check. Check 1, 2, big. Check. Check 1, 2. Two, check. Yeah. Okay. We good, Kabir? Can you hear me all right?
Sound great.
Yeah, awesome. We're gonna start in like, do we know when we started? You,
What? Yeah, I guess.
Hello, okay. I'm gonna take the last like now.
Okay, this has been going for a while, so I thought we're going at 5. Should I? Is it starting like in 5 minutes?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna press record. I haven't pressed record on this yet.
Okay, I'll tell you when we're starting. Like, let's just wait for people to get in.
Okay.
People are still trickling in, so I've asked like 4 or 5 minutes, but we can get started very soon.
Yeah, it's
So I talked to Drew and they said it's gonna take like 15 minutes and it's not gonna be very I'll try again for the next one. I just didn't want to scramble all like, mess something up for you. I'll spend more time on it before they're I got the free time on the countdown and then we'll start on.
Yeah, it's pretty now.
Great.
You guys figure out the audio? It looks like you did. Yeah, so we have it synced up to them for the recording, which is great. The live stream is still the camera audio, or for the phone, but this will be better audio. Okay. And when we upload it later, you'll have the really good audio from all the mics and the highlights. Nice, epic. It looks, this is incredible. Oh, the space area? Yeah. This is like a huge level up. It feels bigger. It feels bigger. Yeah, it's good.
to. Oh, Sam is excited. All nervous. Okay. Lots of pictures. Okay, one. Maybe people are still settling in. Come on in, guys. Grab yourself, take a seat, and we can get started.
Want to sit there?
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna get started anyway as people continue to sort of settle in. And quick about what we're doing here. One, I'm from Saxena. I'll be emceeing today. I'm just introducing everyone, and I got to know this half an hour ago, so it's just a pleasant surprise. And so my sense is one, a bunch of you who here, if you're here, you know bass, and we talked a lot about that. About me, I lead efforts at Base India. The idea is that there's just so much builder potential in India that has not been fully utilized, and we want to make sure that we sort of bring India on chain and make sure that builders in India find as many opportunities that they can support this global movement of bringing the world on chain that Base is excited about and sort of pioneering it. And quick about me, I set up FBI, which is Podcast for Builders India, and it's now the largest collective of base builders. And I think, who here knows Jesse? Just raise your hand. You know Jesse? Okay. So that's the kind of excitement, right? A quick about Jesse is that Jesse and I have been working together for I think 10 months now, and only 1 month that has been officially at base. And for the first 9 months, we only interacted with Telegram, no calls, nothing. Just I'll go to Jesse with a request, and okay, hey, this is what I'm thinking. Jesse will be like, okay, love it, do it. And that's it. That's how we interacted, and that's how we built our FBI, right? It's just speaks volumes on the culture at base, the culture that we want to sort of propel and build. And over to the man himself, Jesse, come introduce yourself. Can you guys hear me? Hello, everybody. Oh, that's a little choppy. If you hear me in the back, say bass. Bass. One more time. If you hear me in the back, say bass. Bass. Bass, sabhi ke liye. Bass is for everyone. I'm Jesse. I'm super excited to be here. We are on a world tour, and we're so excited to be in Bangalore. I've been here now for 2 days, and it is such a beautiful city, filled with so many beautiful, incredibly kind people, and the energy from builders is absolutely electric. I don't know if I've ever experienced anything like it. We have some of the most cracked builders, the most cracked devs, most cracked creators, all who are just here building for the love of it. And that's really what Base is all about, and why we were so excited to come here. And so I have a little bit of content. We're going to talk a little about why we're building Base, how all of y'all are contributing to it, and most importantly, India, and the incredible energy that exists in this country, and the importance of this country in bringing the world on chain. Because at the end of the day, if we want to bring 1 billion people on chain, if we want to bring billions of people on chain, it has to start right here. And it is starting right here. And I think the thing for us that's been particularly exciting is that, like Samia said, coming into this year, we weren't really sure what to expect about Base. And we weren't really sure what to expect about Base in India. And organically, over the last 10 months, in many, many ways, credit to Samia, there has been this explosion of energy. We have had people building companies. We have hosted 21 meetups across the entire country, all community organized, bottoms up, And we've started to see the emergence of real world use cases. People doing payments, people building social products, people building games, people doing microfinance and credit and lending, actually changing lives, using on-chain as a new technology platform that can help us build a better internet. And all of that's awesome, but the most important thing, and the thing that has been most exciting to me, is all of the people, and all of the builders, and all of the folks who took time out of their Thursday evening to drive across the city in traffic, which I've learned is a real commitment, to be here and to connect with other builders and to dream and to co-create a future that is bigger than any one of us, and is bigger than base, and only can be built by all of us. And that future is on-chain. And so I want to start by talking a little bit about why on-chain. We use this word, people used to call it Bitcoin, then they call it crypto, then they call it blockchain, then they call it Web3, but we've settled on the word on-chain. And when we use this word on-chain, what we're doing is we're starting to define a new internet. Because the internet of today is not working. And I think a lot of us experience that. Raise your hand if you've been frustrated because you built an app and you were annoyed by the App Store locking you out, or you were annoyed you had to pay 30% fees to Apple just because. Raise your hand if you wanted to use an app, but because you didn't have the right kind of phone, you couldn't access it. A lot of hands. Raise your hand if you've been a creator and you've brought your creativity online and you've seen corporations profit to the tune of tens and hundreds of billions of dollars, and you've earned essentially none of that. This is the internet of today. The online internet that's off-chain is an internet that's controlled by a small number of corporations who set the rules, who take the profit, and who tell us when we can, when we can't create, and who can, at their whim, take away our platform. They can lock us out of the App Store, and they can make it so we can only access their things on their platforms, where they set the rules. And it's not working. And when we say on-chain, what we're talking about is building a new internet. An internet built by the people, for the people. An internet where, if you're a builder, you can build somewhere, and then you can take that somewhere else and it'll just work. Where when you build something, you make 100% of the profits, and there's no corporation taking a 30% tax. Where if you're a user, it doesn't matter where you're born, it doesn't matter where you live, it doesn't matter what phone you have, you get access to the same products. Because it's an internet built for everyone. And an internet where if you're a creator, you can take your creativity that has made the internet what it is today, and you can own it, and you can profit from it. Because at the end of the day, that's the brilliance that makes up the internet, and that's the brilliance that's going to make a global on-chain economy that all of us get to build and all of us get to participate in. So that's why on-chain. Now, what about bits? Where do we fit into this? The way we think about this is that we are working together to build a global economy, an on-chain economy that increases innovation, creativity, and freedom around the world. It's a new economy. It's built by the people, it's built for the people, and it's gonna, over the next decade, bring the entire world on-chain, millions of builders, billions of people, trillions of dollars of assets, and all built on a secure, decentralized platform. Because the only way we can build a global platform is by making sure that it's decentralized, and making sure that no one company, no one corporation, no one country can set the rules, and the people are the ones who set the rules, and the people are the ones who can access it. And in doing that, we need to make it so it's fast and scalable, so that everyone can access it. We need to make it so it's open, so that everyone can participate. And we need to make it so it's vibrant, so it's an economy that users and businesses have a reason to come into, because it lets them do things that they couldn't do otherwise. And it lets them do things faster and cheaper in a more accessible way than has ever been possible before. And we got started about a year ago. We launched in August 2023. We weren't quite sure what was going to happen. You never know. And I talked about it. The 6 months leading up to launch were the most stressed I've ever been in my life. I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping. Because you only get one chance to welcome people into a new economy and to try and kickstart that flywheel. And we weren't sure what was going to happen. And what's happened is that all of you showed up. Literally. Builders all around the world said, we want to build on base. And it's led to a world where there's billions of dollars of assets on base. There's tens of millions of users. There's tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of builders. And it's led to tens of millions of dollars of earnings for developers, millions of dollars for creators. It's small still in the grand scheme of things, but it's day one of a new global economy. And you can see it emerging. If you squint, you can see how over the next few years and over the next decade, we are going to build something that's fundamentally going to rewrite the rules of our system. And it's not just numbers, it's also being culture. On-chain summer. Raise your hand if you did something during on-chain summer. You built or you put sure, yeah, let's go. It's better tools like on-chain kit that let people actually go from literally never having written code before in their entire life to building an on-chain app in 30 minutes. It's going to get even faster with AI. It's base names where so many people are starting to find their identity. They put it on their shirts. They're saying, this is who I am. It's Base Camp, where we brought together builders from all around the world. We took them to the mountains because we wanted to be somewhere beautiful. And we wanted to experience that. And then coming out of Base Camp, we said, wow, there's something incredible here. If we did it once with 300 people in Northern California, we need to take that to literally every single person in the world. And so what we did was we said, we're going to go around the world. That's the next thing we're going to do. And we went to Kenya. And then we flew to Bangalore. And then on Saturday we fly to Bangkok. And then we go to Singapore. And then we go to Manila. And then we go back home. And then Q1 next year, we're going to go to Latin America. We're going to go to Europe. And we're going to go to Turkey. And we're going to go to every single country in the world because every single country in the world deserves to be on chain and to benefit from this new economy that all of us are building together. But the crazy thing about all of this, you look at the stats, you look at the numbers, you look at the progress, and you're like, wow, we've come a long way. But we're just here. We are at the very beginning. And I think that the last decade, I started working on crypto more than a decade ago. I feel like I've always felt like it's just around the corner. But the reality is it's been so slow and steady. We've all just been like waiting and building and waiting and building and feeling like maybe it's just the next moment where this is going to change the world. But this dot, it has been moving closer and closer. And something in the last 6 months has changed. And I see people shaking their head in the room because y'all can feel it in the same way that I can feel it. The pieces are finally here. It's fast, it's cheap, it's easy to use, there's wallets that everyday people can understand, there's social graphs that people are being able to build into and get distribution. There's hundreds of projects that are emerging that are fun, that are cool, that are things that everyday people actually want to do. And we're about to go and go big in building this new economy, but the only way we can do that is if we do it together. Because this on-chain economy is not something that one person can build. It's not something that one company can build. It's something that all of us working together can build. And so looking ahead, we're wrapping up the year. What comes in 2025? Voila. And this is just the stuff that we're going to do. And everything that we're doing is all about enabling y'all and helping y'all build better. Because the faster and better we enable builders to build, the faster we're going to be able to build this economy together. So first thing, we are going to do everything we possibly can to make it the best place to build for devs. Base name, so we have identity that links into your social graph, Farcaster, Lens, and others. Super fast onboarding with the smart wallet that makes it so you don't have to worry about on-ramps, you don't have to worry about cross-chain, you don't have to worry about any of that. It just works. On-chain kit. So literally, with an AI and an LLM and a UI component, you can go from nothing to saying, I want to build a social app with a feed and a messenger and swap, and it will be done in 10 minutes with no battery. It'll just work. Yeah, right? I feel excited too. And not only will we have incredible tools, but they will be built open source, they will be built on open standards, and they will be built with open markets that anyone can contribute to and anyone can participate in. Because the only way that we get there, and the only way that all of us can build together, if this isn't a corporation with closed source tools that's extractive and locking people in, instead it's a network of people who are coming together to build open source, to build our future economy that all of us are going to get to participate in. So that's what we're going to do for next. The next thing is we're just going to keep making it easy for people to get on chain. And the biggest part of that is scaling. If it's not fast, cheap, and smooth for people to come on chain, they will not do it. And it can't just be like, oh yeah, this is good for crypto. Like that's no more excuses. It's got to be good, period. And so this year we scaled Base from about 2 megagas a second, which is this measure we use from a capacity perspective, to 20. That's 10x. Next year we're going to 10x again, at a minimum. Hopefully we'll more than 10x, maybe 20x, 30x. The goal is a gigagas, and then after that we'll get to 10 gigagas. We're going to keep scaling Base because we know that for both builders and users, it needs to be fast, it needs to be cheap, it needs to be secure, it needs to be decentralized in order for all of us to want to go on it. And then the last thing is that we're going to make it better for creators to create on-chain than off-chain. Because as we started thinking about what's actually going to bring the world on-chain, it's creativity. What do we all wake up in the morning and do? We open up our Instagram. We open up TikTok. We want to see what our friends are doing. We want to understand what's happening in the world. And the people who help us understand that are the creators who for the last decade have been bringing their creativity online and making this internet an incredible place. But they haven't really been earning from it. And you can hear and see the frustration in their stories every single day. And so this year, as we want to onboard the world, we're going to do it through creators who are going to come on chain, who are going to earn 10x more, and then we're going to tell the rest of the world that this new on-chain economy actually works. And it can actually change your life if you come on chain, which I think so many of us in this room have experienced. And now so many of us are getting the opportunity to tell our friends, our family, because the technology is finally ready, and our story is the one that's going to be told. And so, if I have one more thing to say, it's let's get building. Again, we cannot do this alone. We can only do this together. And as we're thinking about building, as we go into 2025, I talked about what we're going to do. We're going to make it great for devs, we're going to keep scaling, we're going to bring creators on chain to onboard the world. But I want to leave the people in this room who I know are incredible builders with 3 thoughts on what I want y'all to do. Take them or leave them. But I think if we think in this way, we're going to move faster, we're going to move better together, we're going to accelerate that timeline for bringing the world on chain. So the first thing is, we need to make things that people want. This is a classic line from YC, Paul Graham. And I think in crypto, over the last 5 years, at times we've gotten distracted. We've gotten distracted by tokens, we've gotten distracted by speculation, we've gotten distracted by all of this noise. And we've lost track of the fact that unless we are building products that everyday people and everyday businesses want, and that solve real problems for them, we're not going to change the world. And some of those problems are speculative, and we want to build speculative products to solve those. But we need to be laser focused on who are we solving for, and what is the problem we are solving. So the first thing is make something people want, so we can change the world. The second thing is build dead simple experiences. I said this earlier. We no longer can say this is good for crypto. If I hear you say that, we are competing against products that corporations have spent hundreds of thousands, millions of employees, and tens of billions of dollars building, optimizing, to get us to tap, to get us to click, to make something that is absolutely delightful. And we have a new platform, and that platform gives us superpowers. It gives us the powers of composability. It gives us better economics for creators and developers. It gives us something that we can build globally from day one. And those are incredible attributes. that make it possible for us to build the next generation of internet products. But unless we take that platform and build products that everyday people can use and everyday people love, we will not succeed. Because we need to go head to head with the other apps on your phones and your parents' phones and your friends' phones. And we need to win. Because that's how we're going to build a new economy. By building better experiences that everyday people can use and that change the world. So that's the second thing. Make things that simple. And then the third thing is, just bring people on chain. It doesn't have to be this complex thing. You don't have to be technical to be a builder. All of us can be builders, and one of the most important ways we can build is by bringing new people in and by building the community of people who understand what's possible on this new internet. So onboard your friend, onboard your family, onboard the random ass person who's walking down the street who you say, hey, have you heard about this thing that's called on-chain? It's changing the world. And when you do that, not only are you going to make it so we now have 999 million people to onboard, you're also going to learn something. Because my gut tells me that first time you try and onboard someone, you're going to go through an experience that's going to be broken. I'm seeing shaking heads, yeah. We've all done that. And it's embarrassing. But then you take that broken thing, and if you built it, you go and fix it. If you knew the person who built it, you go and you say, hey, here's this experience that I had. I think you can fix it, and then they'll fix it. And in doing that work, we collectively will make that path for people to come on chain so smooth and so fast that it's not even an act anymore. And the world starts coming on chain basically automatically because the products just work. And because we've welcomed people into a new economy where they live a better life. And as they live a better life, they tell their friends, and they tell their family, and they join our mission of bringing the world on chain. And so if that gets you fired up, get a QR code. It's just a link to base.org. You can also go to base.org. We want to build with you. We want to be here in Bangalore and across the Indian continent, the Indian country. We want to find builders from every single part of this country and lift you up. And one note, you don't have to be a developer to be a builder. You can be a creator. You can build community. You can build your art. You can build your brand. If you are using these tools of the new economy and you are showing other people how to contribute and how to participate, you are building alongside us. One really good update, fun update, is we're going to be at India. It's coming up it's coming up in late December. We're super excited about it. There's so much builder energy here, and we want to run it back next month. And a huge shout out to the Devfolio team. Can we just give a round of applause to Devfolio? Not only that, they ran all of the Base Around the World build-a-thons with us. They ran an on-chain summer build-a-thon with us. And that team is so freaking good. It's like a freaking SWAT team. They're like, oh man, they work so hard. They're so incredibly creative. And they're so on-chain native. And they're based here. And it's exactly representative of the builders that I've gotten to meet over the last 2 days, the builders in this room, and the energy of builders that's in this country. And so with that, I just want to close it out. Thank you for being here. And I want to remind everyone, as you show up, as you make it through your day, to keep building and to stay based. And when I say to stay based, it means a few things. It means doing the right thing, even when it's tough. It means working hard, because it's not going to be easy to fundamentally change the world. It means being optimistic, because if we want to change the world, we need to believe in a better future. And it means pushing boundaries with creativity, because we need to see a future that no one else can see. And then finally, it means putting the team over the individual. It means putting the group over the individual. It means putting the world over a single country. And it means all of us building together to build a better future on-chain as part of the new internet. And so with that, thank you all for being here. Thank you for going with us. I'm Robert We have an awesome technology. Please have a little second up. Yeah. All right, thanks for being here. Thank you, Jesse. Yeah, wait, you. That's for you. Okay, me and you. All right. So, I mean, we're gonna do like a fun panel. May not be that fun for the panelists, but we're gonna do something on a panel here. But and like we can start setting that up. And in the meantime, I'll just like walk around and introduce everyone here that I think should just like jam together. So that sounds horrifying. Sounds like, what is this guy doing? But so we just like walk around and just jam and get to know each other, right? Like builders in the room. And okay, who here? In fact, I'm gonna like pick someone. Okay, where's Sumedha? Okay. Sumedha, have you guys met Sumedha? Oh, okay. So Sumedha actually built during the Buildathon this thing called mini base. And yeah, so you know, like give quick context on what you're doing, what you're building, why you're building a base. Quick.
Hey everybody, how are you guys doing? I'm Sumedha. I'm the founder of Brainstorm, a marketing agency that's been working very closely with FBI and Base India as well. And this is the first time that we're non-technical folks here. We don't know anything about code. And we just put together, we bootstrapped this team of like 5 people, and we're like, you know what, why not just build for a hackathon, right? And like, hackathon projects, in my opinion, are just experiments that either work or don't work. So, and we just realized, like, and we saw Jesse's tweet 2 weeks before we started building, saying that there's no real platform for all the cool games that are being built on Base, right? There's no one-stop point for you to go and actually discover these games and play them. So we're like, you know what, why not create a discovery platform for all the cool games people are building on Base? And also create, like, along with the discovery page, we also created a tournaments page where people can come and host tournaments, bet on players that they think are going to win. In fact, FBI hosted such a cool tournament called Base Games, which sort of inspired the idea, because a lot of us wanted to bet on which team we thought would win. And Soumya did create a really cool side bets bot, but he did not use it. So I'm like, you know what, why not just create a platform where people can come and bet on these tournaments and play the games that they want to be playing. And the games also come on and get visibility, and they get new users. So yeah, that's what Building Base is all about.
Wow. And I think like, what's special is that she's not a developer. She runs a marketing agency. She hacked a gaming on-chain project with 5 people. That's the power of community. That's the power of what is possible on Base, on-chain. Amazing, Sumedha. Okay, like, because then after you go back up and introduce panelists. Okay. Okay, awesome. We good to go? Sounds good. Alright, so we've got, okay, Edul is smiling, so we're going to start with Edul first. Okay, so we've got Edul on the panel with us. Edul is the founder, and we're doing a futsal tournament tomorrow. He's not playing, his team is playing. And yeah, but so he runs Mudrex. I mean, a bunch of you would know. Who knows Mudrex here? Okay, you know Edul, awesome. And okay, where's Cyber Shakti? Okay. Yeah, come on, Cyber, let's go! Cyber Shakti runs Sportster, which is, I don't know, it's just like this really cool creator kind of platform. And it's built on Base, and she's like one of those like really strong founders. A lot of people talk about like very few women founders in the space. She's one of the like top women founders in the space, which is like of course like inspiring for everyone. And okay, so we got Denver here. Did he reach? I'm not sure. Okay. Rohit, okay, Rohit here. Okay, so I think sir, we're waiting for 2 panelists. I think we just check it, and in the meantime, we just jam together. Yeah. Okay, Jesse, I think like you wanna come up. Rohit, come on. Yeah. So while we wait for panelists, we have new panelists right now. Like this is how we play. Okay. So, welcome set, I just like wanted to be easier. And okay, so quick context on Rohit. Rohit set up, okay, I'll introduce him. Rohit set up Mudrex with back in the days, and then he set up which is like largest tech since stock trade called Jedi Stop, and now he's building something in the like commercial space, which we'll talk about later. But like top tier example of an Indian builder building large scale global sort of projects. And you guys, do you know Jesse?
Hello.
Okay, awesome.
Honored to be up here.
Yeah, so we get started. And before I sort of like get into like questioning mode and jamming, and this is going to be like a fun, light-hearted panel. Hopefully there's no media here. And yeah, okay, starting with Edward, you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Yeah, so I'm Adrian Patel. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Mudrex. We started Mudrex 7 years ago, me, Rohit, and a few of my other friends. The idea was always to get a billion people into crypto. And it was hard then, it's hard now, and we continue to build. That's it.
Awesome.
Hi guys, hi, BM. My name is Sai Shakti. Feeling super bass, and my name is Sai Shakti. I have been in this space for about 5 years, and I've been building for 2. I entered this space as a content creator myself, and now content creators in this space, and we've been.
We have Denver here, which was there. No, this side. I think you offer a lot.
I do not place now. I replace Jesse.
Yeah, you're like quickly. He's the new MC in town.
Let's do it.
Yeah, but like quickly, I start introducing yourself and we'll get you. Yeah?
I know Denver totally stealing my thunder. But okay, quick refresh. I'm building for creators in this space, and I'm bridging the gap between content creation and the monetization opportunities available on Web3 social platforms. And the idea is to go where creators are, give them more earning opportunities through amazing network effects that we bring with Base. And so far, like Jesse said, we are on this upward scale, and so far we've been able to facilitate over 200k users to sort of content create and just find more and more visibility and money on social networks. So here we are.
Hey guys, Rohit here. I co-founded Mudrex with Edward here. These days, I guess I'm spending time on 2 things primarily. One is I'm building a distribution platform led by communities, creators, influencers. We call it trusted voices. It takes different forms and shapes. And another one is called Finternet. Not sure how many heard of that, but like it's a merger of blockchain into the traditional financial world. So anyone interested into tokenization and traditional finance, like the boring world, they can talk to me. Anyone who is interested in the fun world of social and all, you can talk to me. Happy to help in whatever way, like as a builder, of course free, but I get to learn from you.
Yeah, I mean like Rohit is one of those like top go-to guys to me, where it's just like if you want feedback, you're building something, just go to him, he's gonna brainstorm, jam, and sort of like help you figure out like product direction, distribution, like one of those people, right? Okay. Denver, and firstly, welcome Denver. He's the founder of Deathfolio. Everybody here 100% loves Deathfolio, and he's just landed from like Chiang Mai, and which is why like Bangalore traffic does that.
Yeah, fresh from the boat or from the plane. Yeah, but yeah, like Deathfolio, folks must have already heard a bit about it, but yeah, we basically host parties for nerds and geeks, commonly known as hackathons, both IRL. One of our biggest that's coming up is ETH India. I think Jesse already spoke about it a bit earlier. Excited to have Base partner up for it, and also Base around the world are one of my favorite online hackathons that we have done with everything with like the whole prompt that was so interesting, and I would love to talk about it more.
Yeah, I mean, so we love this hackathon's prompt was like this, I think it's like the sweetest thing we've done with the hackathon. It was like we build a real solution that solves a problem in your community, and that's what like Denver's come up with, and it's just like a huge effort in the projects that will ship. I mean, you'll hear about that soon enough. But yeah, I mean, awesome work, Denver. I mean, I'm glad you're here. And okay, we'll get started. I think the broader agenda here is to just like all of you here to pick like one, talk about India as a space, talk about like builders in India, talk about like the current status market, and together sort of like learn from each other on how we can sort of bring India on chain. What has been our experiences doing that? So, I mean, I'll start with like Rohit, because Rohit has built a centralized exchange and a decentralized exchange from India. So I'll just start with him on, okay, what does building from India look like? What's great? What sucks?
So I'm really the worst guy in listing out what sucks. I'm a forever optimistic guy. So I think like India's strength has always been into talent, communities, culture. We kind of have all of this, and that's what crypto is all about. Like I spent small amount of time in US, traveled into Europe and all as well. I think all of those places miss the culture and communities, like what we have. Those are our strength. And I've seen like at least 30% of the builders there, they come from here, like they just go from India to build there, and that was mostly because of the capital that was available. But with crypto, like we have capital available remote, so there is no reason for us to go anywhere else now. And we have the culture, we have the community, we always love doing things our way. Also, like, I think in general in India there is a mentality of building businesses, like everyone comes from small town, they've seen shops, culture and all of that. So it all comes from like freedom mentality, like we have never learned to really work at places. And I think that's why India is the best place to build into crypto.
Awesome. So no cons.
Yeah, not really.
We love that. Lot of optimism, but it's.
I mean, you can list down on the bureaucracy side, on the government side, but I think it's at the end of the day it's about people, and we will change that.
Okay. And I think like there's like different experiences here, right? You are building poster, and you've been building poster for I think one year, 6 months, 2 years. Wow, so 2 years at it, and I was like, what's like a builder first experience? Somebody who's just starting out as a builder, who's in either in university, or like just left his job, wants to build something on chain. What is your advice to them starting out?
Just show up and believe in an idea and say, hey guys, I'm building this and do you want to join me? There will be people who will share similar enthusiasm as you and just get started. I think that's the best thing to do.
And how did you do it?
I just put out a tweet, want to build something cool, slide into DMs, and that's how I got started.
Wow. So, I mean, that's what I'm talking about, right? Like, so we are the same, put together a 5-member team and built and hacked this hackathon, right? She put out a tweet, and that's the kind of like culture which is like collaborative in India. It's like so much talent that you can tap into and build something meaningful. I think Anu smiling, you had that.
Yeah, so just talking about DMs, I'm not sure if Rohit remembers this or not, but the first 1,000 people that we got for Mudrex was literally randomly DMing people on Discord all day. We would maintain a sheet so that we won't DM the same people, otherwise it would feel scammy. But just telling them what the product was, what were we doing, etc., etc., etc. Right? So, and that's
Yeah, and how big is Mudrex now?
we got a few million now.
Wow. So man, started with like DMing 1,000 people, right? Like that's the learning here. If you're building, just like do the hard thing, right? Like this is how you get started. I love that. Denver, like what about you? Especially like since you see a lot of builders and lots of, I mean, see them together today, right? It's just like so much builder energy. What do you think is great? What do you think we can fix?
I mean,
One thing is that here, like people are just really excited to build, right? And I think past few years we have really seen the hacker culture really permeate, and people start to think a little beyond just building. Like college students usually earlier used to just think about academics, the professors asking them to build a project, so that's why they are building that 6-month long project, right? Which both of us had to do as well. But then this hackathon culture really has brought up a new breed of people who are ready to experiment, and they're so excited about hackathons. Like when we do Eat India, we just like basically just put up a tweet and just have to wait and watch, right? And the numbers just fill in. And so that's why there's a lot of excitement, lot of energy to build. The builders here are also very technical. They are also able to figure out, sometimes I'm also surprised at how do they manage to leap beyond, a couple of, you think that this is prerequisite knowledge, but then they somehow jump past it, right? I think thinking from the outcome is like, a skill that people are good at, and then you just jugaad your way through it.
Correct, jugaad is the word.
So I think that's great. The flip side is I think builders could do, like especially in Web3, could do with little more direction on what the problem space is, and because we are in a sort of a unique like situation where a lot of builders are also trying to they're not consumers of apps yet. I mean, to be fair, not a lot of people are consumers. We've built a lot, but not so much consumers. But still, they still don't use crypto daily. Despite that, they are able to build so much, right? But I think what will unlock the next space is that when people actually start using all of these apps, right? Yeah. But that has to come from within, like from within India. If it's culturally relevant, people will start using those kind of things, right? And that's probably one way to take it ahead.
I agree. I think for me personally, that's priority one, right? On how can we get ourselves on chain? Then we go to neighbors, then we go to friends, and so on, right? So which is why even at FPL, like top of mind thing, where we say, okay, you know what? First we do things ourselves, we try products, we speak with each other on things we're doing, we play around and get ourselves to the space, right? What is really broken, and then see what we can fix. And talking about what we can fix, I think top of mind, what are some opportunity? I think Nikhil Ramar does this very well, right? If there's a builder in this room who wants to start a project, start an on-chain company, what does he do, right? What's top of mind? What's an opportunity area for a builder in India who wants to build a solution in India? And I'll start with Denver again, because I think we've spoken about this, thought about this deeply on consumer experiences that can get along in India, or an Indian builder in India.
I won't go to specific ideas so much because we have done a fair amount of chatting on that. But I think one thing is just looking around. One is also trying to build skeuomorphic things, right? That is one clear thing. Even if I open my phone right now, I have a bunch of apps, right? And they all work pretty good, from Zomato to PhonePe. But is that all it is? Can bringing them on chain somehow make them better, right? That is one opportunity. And the other is figuring out what is net new behavior that you and your friends are sort of interested in, right? And I also think I personally not not in the Gen Z age group, but I see how they have so much energy, right? To really talk and figure out okay, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then the next step is just open Replit and just start building, right?
Correct.
So that kind of experimentation can be really cool in my opinion. Yeah.
And I think just to add to that, right, like the way I think of on-chain is just it unlocks like two really big pieces. One, it as an Indian builder and like as an Indian project, it unlocks like global capital for you, which is insane. Like the biggest company I work with, cost of capital is 12%. If it is on-chain, you can bring it down to 3%. What that unlocks is that like a farmer in India or like an education leader in India can now reduce their EMI cost by 50%, right? Just like mad value unlocks when you use global capital. And again, like permission data Legos and all of that, what blockchain unlocks. But okay, Edul, you want to talk about like what is your like what do you think on-chain can unlock in India, especially because you come from like a centralized exchange side down here.
So in reality, I think people think too much about what do they want to build, how do they want to build. Almost always what you start off with trying to figure out what you're building never actually turns out what you're building. In the last 7 years, this is the fifth thing that you're doing as such. So I actually think of it from a very different perspective. You should just start solving the small problems that you are wanting to solve, right? And so coming back to the original question, right? One of the things that I think is missing is people are actually not building things that people want. They are building things that someone might fund. They are building things that sound cool. They are building things that they've heard and are trying to aimlessly copy, and that's why it hurts. And in reality, what I think makes a difference is building the small things that maybe 5 people will use, or just 4 of your friends will use. You'll enjoy. You'll have fun, and you will say tata bye bye to it, and then move on to the next, and then move on to the next, and then move on to the next, and then at some point you will find out something that people really want. I think most people don't commit to that journey, and you can't commit to that journey on day one. You can only commit to building something small on day one. You should commit to just doing that is what I think. Otherwise you don't get there. If you start thinking of it from that long period and perspective, it just ends up feeling too hard. And once it just starts feeling too hard, you'll never do it. So just start with the small things is what I think.
100%. So start with the small things. And I mean, like, I'll take the mic and move around the room and just like check if you're making notes on what this panel is about.
So let me give you an example of one small thing, right? Again, I'm not sure, I'm actually maybe too old for this, but about 8 years ago, there was this app called Yo. Do you guys remember Yo? It was this insane app that earned an insane amount of money overnight, right? It was so ridiculous that, and I'm pretty sure Rohit will remember one of the things that we did together. Overnight, me, Rohit, 3-4 friends of ours, we just created another app called as OA. It was an Indian Yo. The only thing that people do is open the app, just tap and say hi. It was like just sending someone a missed call, and we were not going to send missed calls back then because SMSs were expensive and WhatsApp didn't exist, right? It was fun, something small and something cool that you could do. That's actually the only time I've ever been mentioned on TechCrunch. Anything that we've ever been has ever been mentioned on something like that. But it's all those small things that, the small fun things that, not the things that we do.
I mean, for sure, right? Like even FBI, we built out as like a fun Telegram group, and then I wrote Podcaster Builders India. I was like, okay, this could be a thing. Like 1 year later, it's a thing, right? It's just like fun things that sort of turn into larger initiatives. Okay, and you want to add to that?
Yeah, of course. Like I totally resonate with what he's saying. Don't build because something is trending or you think it will get funding. Because obviously, because if you are not a user of what you're building, there will be no conviction and there will be no legitimacy, and you will not be able to hold on to a community. You know, so I totally resonate with what he said, and I believe obviously you should have a larger goal in mind, but be very flexible about the way you get there. Improvising on like a regular basis and study what your users are doing, where your users are going, and maybe just building for what they want is my biggest learning, and just being in the trenches. For example, one thing that we do is we sort of hype people in We help projects build hype around them with the user-generated content that we are able to provide for them, right? So unless I wasn't in the community as a DGen holder, as somebody who's helping DGen, helping shit posters make money with the content that they are creating, I wouldn't have got the users that I did, right? Because you have to wear your user shoes and walk with them individually. And because I can code something doesn't mean you are a user of that. So, and you have to genuinely enjoy what you're doing. And I think that will sort of show and that will take you a long way. So, and your journey will obviously go through various redirections, right? But that conviction of why you started has to stay with you.
Yeah, 100%. And Rohit, you would add to any of it?
No, I think it's been covered. If I wanna just summarize, best thing to build is what you need or what you see as your problem. Second best thing is like what your friends, like you see your friends are facing something you can solve for. I think the first one is more important because you feel obsession as all of us mentioned, like it just builds conviction. You feel much more passion. If you're building for someone else, then it's just harder, a little bit harder to create passion. But yeah, like these are the only two pieces I think I'll take.
Yeah, and I think like final question, right? Before we you can do like an audience question thing at any point in time, right? But before we do that, I think two sort of like final pieces as a larger opportunity area in India. What do you see that people can go after, right? Is it like for example, for me, I'm obsessed with like somebody solving under-collateralized lending, right? Because it makes like an obvious sense to me. But like, what are some of these ideas, opportunity buckets for you? And we can just like quick thing on that.
Fake reviews.
So like,
Fake reviews.
fake reviews, wow.
Yeah. Insane number of fake reviews about everything.
True.
Yeah, just figure out a way to have authentic reviews.
I was about to say that actually. Like I literally got to meet a team who is solving this. So and these are the things I was talking about. Like it's Edu's personal problem, right? And if it is your problem, you will relate. A lot of more people will relate to that.
Yeah.
And now we have a bunch of different technologies. It's not just like the chain itself. Like you have ZK, you have blockchains, you have like a bunch of different things where you merge all of them together, then you can come up with different solutions which were not probably possible before.
Yeah.
So similarly, like if people are, I'm sure many people here will be interested into like how all of these things loop into the real world stuff like tokenized money, tokenized deposits, interest rates on chain, things like that. So if you are interested in that, like come join the internet community. There are a lot of cool things on the social side, like especially you guys have done a lot of things. I think social is going to unlock a lot more. I think ad industry is going to completely vanish away, and like I think one of the biggest industries is ad industry today. So the kind of gap it will open, like you can fill it up in a very different ways, and I think that's going to be a big opportunity as well.
I totally agree. I think the new age market that we can create with social experiences, because these sort of users that we see, the DGen, the on-chain users, are actually very averse to conventional, traditional marketing, anything really. So I think there's a lot of value in user-generated content and how that can convert into smart ways of organic marketing and shared monetization through, incentivizing great content creation that is through micro-influencers.
Yeah.
So that is one space that I'm very excited about. New age marketing that is on-chain.
And we have something to add.
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, from what I can understand, financialization and tokenization are very straightforward use cases that have 10x benefits, and I think that will eventually happen, right? My personal interest lies in figuring out how what can be intersections of Web 2 and Web 3 currently, and especially in things like identity. Can we build some bridges with identity systems like Aadhaar and Ethereum, right? So there's this project called Anon Aadhaar, which is trying to build Aadhaar on build the identity on chain. So what new behavior can that enable, and literally like I think we have much more than like we have 1.2 or at least 1.3 billion other users, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So to be honest, from our perspective, we don't even when people talk next billion, we don't even need like the rest of the world. Like we are the next billion, right?
We are the next billion. That's the takeaway, guys. Okay, before we close, I think like we'll do like a couple of questions from the audience, and yeah, you can like direct it at anyone. Okay. Okay, we can pass the mic around. Can you? Okay, any questions before I pass the mic around? Just raise your hand if you have questions for anyone here.
Till we get a question, I think we also miss covering crypto and AI. That is such a powerful combination that we can explore.
Yeah. And I think that's also like a focus area for us on how we are evaluating like the on-chain economy move, like how can we support AI.
So I'll just be the noob here.
Yeah.
Give me one example where that works.
I mean, have you seen? So it's a side note, and we can take this offline as well. But I got tipped by an AI on Forecaster, right? For some work I did with FBI on a blog that this AI read. So it's nuts what's happening at this point in time. And if like an on-chain AI exists, it's going to live on a decentralized network, that's obvious. And what does that like look like in terms of using it?
One idea, like, I don't know how sci-fi it is, but I've seen Truth of Terminal and Luna Virtual, like, when I was speaking about it today. Like, I think most humans will go into distribution, like, they will be the creative personas. Like, we'll see more and more people playing their role as the distribution entities and not really the work. Like, all the work will be automated. And the way they will do it is with the help of AI agents. And the AI agents, how the economics will play out will be the on-chain economies. And I think Luna Virtual and Truth of Terminal is just the first two. Like it's the start. There is going to be meme coins like can be an explosion probably about these things.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. I think if you have no questions, I think we can close the panel with the final. Okay, do you have questions? Okay.
Hi, good evening everybody. Soumya, thank you for having me over. And I welcome the base team to Bangalore. I hope you have had the filter coffee and the dosas and idli vadas. It's to die for. Believe me when I say that because I no longer live in Bangalore and I miss it every single time. My question is to the panelists out there. Being a founder might seem very glamorous, but it is a very painful job. I would love to know from you guys some moments when nobody trusted you, nobody believed in you, and you even doubted yourself, but chose to look beyond that and build what you were building. In the terms of the most, like the moment that you were down and out, and you said, for the lack of better words, fuck it, I'm done.
Like, you mean like today or?
I love that energy. Yeah.
But I mean, like, we're going to take this question offline because I think it's like we respect the time of the panel. And but largely, that's like a very like high-level, vulnerable kind of question to set this off for like the next piece, which is where we like sort of talk about builders and the buildathon. Okay, cool. Over to Tom. We can like close the panel. Thank you for joining, everyone. Thanks. Okay. You good? Thank you. was a very inspiring panel. Really great to hear all the different perspectives. Denver made it. That was a close call, but I'm sure Jesse was going to cover well for you. So yeah, it's exciting. We actually had so many people overflowing. We had to put in a new makeshift row of chairs. So it's pretty nice here. It's just let's hear a round of applause for all the builders. Can I get a clicker too? I think I came up here prematurely. So I'll get a clicker. We're going to be sharing the Build-a-thon winners today, which will be really exciting. And as we get going, that was like a seated section. So this section is going to be like a little high energy. So we're going to start off with a little call and response, all right? So when I say something, like when I say X, you say Y. All right, so let's give it a try. So when I say based, you say India. Based. India. Based. India. All right, when I say giga, you say gas. Giga. Gas. Giga. Gas. When I say on-chain, you say kit. On-chain. On-chain. All right, when I say EIP 5792, you say wallet SIM calls. EIP 5792. EIP 5792. All right. We'll call it there. But that is a great EIP. Check that one out, 5792. So, it's good builder energy. I'm sure you guys are all tapped in. So, as Jesse talked about and as we heard, really over on-chain summer and even before, we've just been blown away by the builder energy, I would say in particular. And so, running these regional hackathons, we just came from Kenya, saw amazing projects all across the African continent, and we're running these 4 build-a-thons. So, Africa, India, Latin America, and Southeast Asia. And we're really excited with this prompt right here. Hey, solve a real problem or build an on-chain community and bring people on-chain. So really excited and we've been blown away by the magnitude and the number of quality projects from India. And really excited to share more about that today. So huge thank you. When I say Dev, you say Folio. Huge shout out to Denver and the Dev Folio team. Amazing production partner for us, both for On-Chain Summer and for Base Around the World, have been really incredible to work with. Also, our India co-presenters here, that I want to call out. Let's hear a big round of applause. And how small can you make these avatars? I think we could. Huge shout out to the builder community, not just the 50 years on the slide, but so many faces here that I've connected with in the past, or that some new faces that we're able to see with. So I think without further ado, everybody wants to see the winners now, and so we're going to share a little bit more. So here's the general, 30 ETH for each of these regional build-a-thons, 25 of which, maybe more, nevertheless, will go to the winning projects. And then we have 5 ETH for the community votes, which you go on Devfolio, vote. It uses a quadratic matching algorithm to share even more prizes. So, without further ado, drum roll please. Air horn! Alright, so we're going to go through these one by one. Again, everybody is a winner that participated, but some really incredible projects that we want to highlight. So, let's get into it. So, Base Coffee. Builder from Base Coffee, please come on stage and share us a little bit more about your project. Come on stage. And nice. Come on stage. All right, this was amazing. We had some breakfast this morning too, and we're talking. Share a little bit, what inspired you to build Base Coffee?
I was not prepared for this, so thank you for having me. So Base Coffee actually started in On-Chain Summer. So that time I was on Farcaster, and there were a few projects that I was building, and wanted to get some support from the users, the community. So then I made like a frame where you put down a campaign, what you're building or what you want to raise money for, and people can then fund you via the frame. And like that got good users and stuff. And then when I was thinking about how we can bring that to India, I felt that India is like we are very much on Instagram and on video. So I took the same frame and converted it into an app where now you can see what the campaign is all about via video. You have the same Instagram reel feel that you're always swiping. So as a user also you are more, you have more attention on what's going, and then very simply you can fund it if it works for you. Yeah.
Amazing. One more round of applause for Base Coffee. And scan these QR codes as we're going to go through the projects. Check out this feed. Very nice vertical feed interaction pattern that I was having fun with. All right, so let's keep it going. Next up, TK. So a base Farcaster client, this one is really unique, can engage, create, mint, monetize in a familiar social form. Is the builder or any of the builders of TK in the audience with us tonight? All right, we'll get some music and a huge round of applause for them because they're part of the very base. All right, nice. So up next, basics. I know about our basics in the audience. Quickly go down. We actually met earlier this year too at Youth Denver. This is a very base project. You know, I'd say gamified, LMS, learning, education, and we'll hear more about basics. What inspired you to build basics? Share a little bit with the audience.
Hi, hello everyone. This is Shruti, and I've been in the tech space since last 4 years. But in Web3, when I was like just exploring stuff, it seemed to be very overwhelming and very challenging and complex. Then I discovered a lot of different chains, and it got even more challenging. So then during Youth Denver, I met Tom, and then I discovered Base, and then I started building different tools and stuff. And recently, during on-scene summer, I had this idea about basics, like how can we make on-scene feel less esoteric, simple, and fun. And so this was the vision during on-scene summer, and then I shifted for the super hack, and then now for the Base India hack. And it's not just limited to the hackathons. We are still brainstorming more on it, and like how we can improve improve the user experiences and everything. So that's how my journey inspired it to build this for other people who are like stuck like I was. So I think there are a lot of great communities like FBI and Developer DAO and a lot of them. So everything will just help out, and let's onboard more folks.
Thanks so much. And so one thing that I want to highlight as we're going through is that not all projects are net new for each build-a-thon. You know, in fact, if you're just going to go build-a-thon to build-a-thon, create maybe half of a working project that has no chance to get PMF, that's not what we really want to encourage. Of course, we encourage new projects being built, but if you're able to add a feature or functionality and specifically call that out with a pull request, show what you added, that's what we want to encourage. More building long-term with your projects and growing that and monetizing it and retaining and growing the community. So, all right, let's keep another round of applause for basics and let's keep moving. All right, let's keep this going. Super Base Games. Round of applause for Super Base Games. Easy way to get your base name with funds on any chain. So it's kind of like an interesting cross-chain way of bringing base names as the center of your on-chain identity. Is the builder of Super Base Names in the audience? All right, I don't think so. One more round of applause for Super Base Names, though. Very base, very super. All right, I'm excited about this next one. DeFi Lens, a meme coin rebalancer. So take a look at this. Big round of applause for DeFi Lens. Making it easy to buy different memes, to rebalance. This is very base. A nice way to discover what's happening. Can manage all your base meme coins in one place. Has a nice base name integration. A very base project here on Base. Round of applause, bringing fun trading memes to the masses. One more round of applause for DeFi Lens. Is the builder here? I don't believe so. All right. Nice. TagFi. So, you know, earlier, a round of applause for TagFi here. You know, a fun way to train an AI ML model, kind of mixing of a model training with gig economy. I was tagging cats, I was tagging dogs, I think I was correct, I was earning, I was tagging to earn. Is any of the developers or builders of TagFi in the audience? Come on up and share what you've built. Make yourself known. All right, well, one big round of applause for TagFi, a very base project bringing worlds together, which we love to see. All right, Culture Co. I know Culture Co's in the audience. Come up, share what you're building. Very base.
Hey everyone, this is Dhruva, and it doesn't matter what I've done, I'm from Bangalore. So what we built was for the community. We wanted to build a creative commerce platform where independent artists could sell everything. So they wanted to build Patreon, we built Patreon. They wanted to sell stores like shop things like Etsy, we built Etsy. We We built NFT integrations, they did that too. They wanted tips, we did that too. And we can't just do things with creators, we couldn't forget the fans. So fans wanted badges, achievements, they wanted ticketing, they wanted early fandom. We built all of that too. And the best thing we did is we onboarded real creators, we onboarded real fans. They broke the app, it was a great alpha, we tested it, and it was a lot of fun. By the way, this app was designed by an artist, and this app was built by a musician. So I'm just leading a team of artists who want to build it by the culture, for the culture. So,
Great base. Round of applause for Culture Co. All right, we love to see that kind of community, artistic, creative tie-in, building these communities on chain and showing how it's possible to earn more on chain than maybe traditional monetization models. So next up is Cast Money. Big round of applause for Cast Money. Simple DeFi on-chain Cast connection is the builder from Cast Money is in the audience. This is special bonus fun. All right, Cast Money, tell us what inspired you to build Cast Money.
So this problem statement started with us onboarding our friends on crypto, and we always felt that it was really hard for them to understand what's going on. So that's why we built Cast Money, where we leverage Forecaster, and you can follow your friends in Forecaster and see what they're doing on chain. And yeah, that's what we do on Cast Money. You can log in on app.castmoney.xyz right now and check it out. It's live, it's working, and you can follow me.
Alright, nice. We love the vibes too. GM, VM, maybe it could be the VM div, and check the bottom for the big mover ticker to keep your eyes on, opportunities out there. That's a good one. Alright, one more round of applause for Cast Money. Heck yeah, keep moving. Alright, and next up is Lumen. Echo Conscious, where's the bell from Lumen? This is very unique. We have a green, kind of clean energy sustainability here, and I'd love for you to share a little bit more with the audience around the vision behind Lumen. Yeah, both of you. This is awesome.
Hey, thank you guys. We are here. I'm Bhavya and this is my partner Ishan. We would like to thank our teammates who are not here. Archit, who's a cultural tech leader that inspired us to build this, along with our friend Prathamesh, who also lives with us, who got a beer. So what we built is very carbon-friendly tech platform where carbon trading happens, and we have seen that a lot of carbon regulation is going to come into picture. Archit inspired us to build something where we can trade carbon and be it in a more positive manner, and because it's on chain, it is also transparent, it is available for everyone to use, and also see the transparency in the whole thing. And also we have enabled consumers to be on chain. For example, you have shoes and you don't know what is the recycling value out there. So we are bringing that value on chain, and we showcase it, and so that you guys can actually get the value and get Lumen credits and stuff. Check us out. We have made it simple for people to onboard.
It was like a very cool way we met Archit as well. Archit has been working in the sustainability industry for the past 10 years. We met, Bhavya actually met him in one of the base meetups, and me, Bhavya, and another friend is his roommate, and we actually had this together in 2-3 weeks. So it was a really cool build to do.
That's great one. That sounds like base meetups driving on-chain impact and driving real-world impact. So one more round of applause for Lumen. That's right. All right. Here we go. All right, Vox. Vox for a basis, trust us. So check this one out. Big round of applause for Vox. Events. Get a seat. Coldplay, Dua, Mozart, all the modern artists. Real interesting, I think a lot of even my on-chain skeptic friends think about NFTs and be like, yeah, that actually probably is a pretty good use case for ticketing and events are a pretty good use case for that. So yeah, I'm assuming so the developer's on here, but very base project. Go check it out, scan this QR code for Vox, and over time, let's onboard more and more venues and performance venues so that we can bring ticketing on chain. That's a great one. All right, excited about this next one. Minibase, Steam but on chain. Well, builders of Minibase come down and share a little bit more about what inspired them to build this. We already heard a little bit, but we can hear more. Share more. What inspired you to build on Base?
So what inspired us would be the base games tournament that we had with FBI. One of the codes one of the answers to a puzzle that was a part of the tournament was I had fun on chain, right? And I think what we were trying to do mainly was get people to a common platform where they could play the kind of games that they wanted and discover games on base and have more fun on chain. Because the more fun you have on chain, the more you're going to be incentivized to discover other things as well on chain. And yeah, I think we have one of our developers in the audience, and she's actually a Web2 game dev. She's a little shy, but she's a Web2 game dev. She did not know the first thing about Web3, right? So it was her and one smart contract developer who built this, and our team designed it. And I think this is crazy for our first hackathon ever. And yeah, glad to present that.
Yeah, and I just want to say that like the thought process, right? I think Web3 gaming was something that is actually one of the most fun things to do, right? Like from a consumer perspective. So you're like, okay, like how do you firstly, and as she mentioned, right, Jesse's tweet on, okay, we can't really find games, so solving for game discovery. The second is how do you give that like touch point of interaction, right? Because like people may be intimidated by onboarding and like you still want to play the game, right? Because that's what matters. So like having like a very easy to experience CTA. And the last is obviously like, there was this whole craze which obviously is still there. Shout out Poly Market. But like betting, right? Like you want to bet on your favorite games, and gamers are like speculative by nature. So we wanted to just have that, and that was kind of the thought process behind Minibase. And I would like to just say one last thing about why we built on Base. It's because like Base really never felt like a barrier. It was always like the value, right? Like come build, anybody can be a builder. So we never like thought twice, and we were like just like screw it, let's just build. And yeah, that was like a really fun experience. Got to learn a lot, and yeah, just shout out to Base. Thank you.
And we happen to onboard our friend as well. And this is her first project that she built in the crypto space.
Give an applause. I like that. Screw it. Let's just build our base. We're ready to that. All right. Steam, but on chain. I love it. Fun first. That's what I heard. Fun first. All right. Mini base. Neom. Is Neom in the crowd? Big round of applause. Light client architecture. Some very basic Rust code that I saw. This one is kind of going deeper down the stack to the chain level. Really important that we're able to decentralize the validation and the node running that we do for the network around the world, and Neom is pushing in that direction with a kind of financial trading interface on top. So big round of applause for Neom. Kind of a nice marriage of finance infrastructure with chain infrastructure. All right. EtherZap is the builder for EtherZap in the audience. Big round of applause for EtherZap. I'd say pushing growing gas. A bigger round of applause. Bigger round of applause. Air horns. Yeah. Reducing the barrier of gas fees, on Base Folia, some interesting kind of take on it that combines advertising, incentive mechanisms with the idea for building gasless. And I'll plug the Paymaster for the Base Gasless campaign. If you are building on Base, we have up to 15,000 USD for gas credits that we want to offer you on behalf of your users to sponsor transactions. And I think that could be an impactful way to smooth out that initial onboarding experience. We love what we saw with EtherZap, kind of innovating in the same realm to reduce the friction of gas fees for our users. So big round of applause for EtherZap, and truly everybody that participated, big round of applause. So many great projects. The judges have a very hard time always selecting finalists here because there's just many, many base builders in India, and we were overwhelmed with amazing energy. And kind of winding down here, want to say, hey, if you participated, you're still a winner. For those of you that followed along the on-chain Summer Build-a-thon, there may be more things in store. Definitely an NFT that you can do, but it's always more. It's never less when you build on Base. But yeah, go to base.org, get started. If you'd like, funding opportunities, growth opportunities to connect with our team, come find us afterwards. You can connect with the Base team. While we're winding down, maybe everybody on the Base team can just stand up and raise their hand or show your face and come find us afterwards. We want to talk to you. We want to know what you're building. We want to know how we can support and help. And yes, very much just a huge round of applause for everybody that participated in Base India Chapter 1 or 2024. I'm going to pass it back over to Jesse to take us home. Thank you all.
I have some thoughts to say, but before I do that, I just want to get a selfie. Can everyone stand up maybe and just wave or something like that? Yeah, let's go. Awesome. Thank you. Wow, can we just have one more round of applause for all the builders? That was the most stacked lineup of projects that are making real-world impact or using the technology or social, gaming, finance, green energy. It's really just so incredibly inspiring. And I guess I just want to close out by saying thank you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you for believing in base. Thank you for being on this journey where we all know where we're going. We're not quite sure how fast we're going to get there, but at least for me personally, this is the rest of my life. And I think for many of us, I see nodding heads in the room. This is the rest of our lives. And it is a generational opportunity, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be at the beginning of building a new global economy. Where if we are successful, or when we are successful, we're going to massively increase economic freedom around the world. We're going to massively increase innovation and creativity around the world. And we're going to be able to look back in 10 years, or 20 years, or 50 years, or 100 years, and say we were there when we started building a new internet. That was built by the people, that was built for the people, and that made the world a much better place. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for building. Keep building and stay big. And have fun!